The idea that Mace Windu could truly defeat Emperor Palpatine doesn't make sense because of how Palpatine is portrayed in the prequels. Palpatine is shown as a brilliant strategist who plans every move to take over the galaxy and destroy the Jedi. Every action he takes is part of a larger scheme. Palpatine's careful planning makes it hard to believe he would lose to Mace Windu without a reason. The duel between them seems more like a setup. By letting Windu seem to win, Palpatine creates a situation where Anakin has to choose between saving Palpatine or siding with the Jedi. If Palpatine had truly been defeated, it would contradict his character as a master manipulator. It's more likely that the fight with Windu was just another part of his plan to make Anakin betray the Jedi and fully embrace the dark side. This fits with Palpatine's habit of controlling events to his advantage, showing that he never leaves anything to chance. In the original trilogy, Yoda is introduced as a wise and mystical mentor to Luke Skywalker. His wisdom is profound, his mannerisms are humble, and he embodies the essence of the Jedi philosophy. Yoda's character here is a blend of spiritual guidance and subtle humor, making him a beloved figure. And then there's his fight with Count Dooku. While visually impressive, this scene feels out of character for Yoda. The original Yoda emphasizes that wars not make one great and prefers knowledge and the Force over physical confrontation. The prequel Yoda, flipping and twirling in combat, contradicts his own teachings from the originals. In The Empire Strikes Back, Yoda teaches Luke about the importance of the Force and the perils of the dark side. His wisdom is calm and reflective, focusing on the spiritual and mental aspects of being a Jedi. The prequel Yoda, engaging in flashy lightsaber duels, feels like a departure from these core values. The Old Republic era is a fan favorite, filled with ancient Sith Lords, legendary Jedi, and epic wars. But despite its popularity in games and books, it hasn't been fully explored in movies or TV series. Delving into this era could open up new storytelling opportunities, free from the constraints of the Skywalker saga. Imagine a Star Wars film or series focused on the origins of the Sith, the formation of the Jedi Order, or the massive conflicts that shape the galaxy. In my view, exploring the Old Republic could breathe new life into Star Wars, offering fresh narratives while honoring the franchise's roots. It's a goldmine of potential just waiting to be tapped. Han Solo's death at the hands of his own son is one of the most shocking moments in The Force Awakens. But was it the right way to say goodbye to such an iconic character? Some fans feel that Han deserved a more heroic exit, perhaps going out in a blaze of glory rather than a tragic personal moment. However, others argue that his death added emotional weight to the sequel trilogy, grounding the story in real stakes. Personally, I believe Han deserved a better ending. Unfortunately, Harrison Ford wanted him dead since the original trilogy. What do you think? Did Han get the ending he deserved? Was Mace Windu arrogant? Mace Windu was a formidable Jedi, but his confidence sometimes bordered on arrogance. He was quick to dismiss Anakin's concerns and was certain that the Jedi had control over the situation with Palpatine. This overconfidence blinded him to the true threat of the Sith and ultimately led to his downfall. Some argue that his rigid adherence to the Jedi Code and his dismissive attitude towards others, including Anakin, contributed to the Order's demise. While his intentions were noble, Mace Windu's arrogance may have been a fatal flaw that weakened the Jedi from within. What's your take? Was Mace Windu too proud for his own good? In the novelization of Revenge of the Sith, the duel between Yoda and Palpatine is described in greater detail than in the film, offering more insight into their strengths and the outcome of the battle. Yoda acknowledges that the dark side has grown very powerful and that Sidious represents the culmination of that power. During the fight, Yoda recognizes that he is facing the most powerful Sith Lord in history, and he begins to doubt whether the Jedi have the ability to triumph over this new kind of darkness. In the novel, the battle is less about who is stronger in raw power and more about the realization that the Sith have created a situation where the Jedi, as they were, cannot win. Palpatine's power in the dark side is overwhelming, but Yoda's wisdom allows him to see that the fight cannot be won on those terms. The book suggests that while Yoda is incredibly powerful, the shift in the Force in the galaxy state means that Palpatine is effectively stronger in the context of that moment. Is Darth Maul the most tragic character in Star Wars? Darth Maul's story is one of rise, fall, and relentless revenge. From his debut in The Phantom Menace to his complex character arc in the Clone Wars and Rebels, Maul's life is marked by betrayal, loss, and an unquenchable thirst for vengeance. He was trained by Palpatine, only to be discarded when he was no longer useful. Surviving his defeat, Maul's obsession with revenge consumed him, leading to a lonely, bitter end. Unlike other Sith, Maul's tragedy lies not just in his fall to the dark side, but in the loss of purpose and identity. In my view, Darth Maul is one of the most tragic characters in Star Wars, a victim of both the Sith and his own hatred. Count Dooku is often seen as a villain, but was he more of a victim of circumstances? Count Dooku, once a respected Jedi Master, became disillusioned with the Jedi Order and the Republic's corruption. His fall to the dark side wasn't fueled by a desire for power, but by a genuine belief that the galaxy needed a new order. Dooku was manipulated by Palpatine, who preyed on his frustrations and idealism. While Dooku made choices that led him down a dark path, his initial intentions were not inherently evil. In many ways, he was a tragic figure, a victim of Palpatine's schemes and the flaws within the Jedi Order itself. Dooku's story is a reminder of how even noble intentions can be twisted into something dark.